All right, what's up guys? So in this video, I'm gonna recap the session from today, which was April 8th. As you can see by my P&L here to the left of me, I took one full loss today, and then I took one break-even trade. So in this video, I'm gonna show you guys why this one was a bad trade. And this trade right here was a good trade, I would say, but it did have some red flags. So I'm going to go over those in this video, and I'm sorry I didn't post a video yesterday, but I just didn't take any trades. And from Friday, I just took that one trade on my live that was a loss. So right now I'm currently dealing with a losing streak once again. So yeah, I've definitely stuck to my setup for the most part, but there have been some setups that just straight up don't work out. And a few of the times, and like 2 of these times that this happened, I knew that they weren't going to work out. I just didn't want to take the trade off. And because I don't like doing that, I don't like taking trades off early. I'm not at the stage of trading where like I feel like I have a good enough intuition to like take it off early. And I would be really pissed if I started getting into the habit of taking trades off and watching them run on me. But I'm gonna go over today's session real quick. So I have the bookmap replay right here, and on top of the bookmap replay, I have the live session. So today, the plan was really, I wanted to see price get traded above the 5,300 level before I even took any longs. And that was really just the top of supply. Went against my plan, and I still don't think it was the worst idea to do that, and I'll explain why. But we had supply level, it was roughly around 5,250 up to like 5,300. So knowing this, I was looking for longs if we broke above that. But what happens is the session opens up and we kind of left supply and then immediately came right back into it. So whatever supply gets traded into for a long time, it's a good sign that it's like, if it's not rejecting very quickly, then it's kind of a bad sign if you want to get short. So anyway, we leave supply after we open up, and then price immediately returns back into it. And this is this is the first setup that I took. So my thesis was to get long off of this buying, and I'll tell you right now, this buying is not significant enough to be playing long off of. Like this is for sure not a good trade. And you'll see if I zoom out, I'll show you guys on the bookmap replay data, but this volume was not significant enough. I should have just completely avoided this setup. If I go to the replay data, you see how this buying volume right here is very insignificant relative to the opening delta. That would just be a hint for me to avoid it. And really, just like always, I was trying to get long right here in this low volume area. I don't remember what my fill was, but as soon as I see bids stepping in as some buying volume come in, I get long. And it looked like it was going to work out pretty well right away. And then immediately I see this, and this was a little bit of a red flag right here. But we traded right back into that low volume area, or so I thought it was. It really wasn't that, it really wasn't significant enough for me to take a trade off. I should have fully avoided that. So that was just like a bad setup in general. I wish I avoided it, but it is what it is. It happened and I took it. So that was the first setup. The next setup, it definitely set up, like it was definitely, my entry criteria was there. And it was the same thing, just significant volume, but this time it was really significant volume. And the same thing, significant volume fills a good amount of offers. And then we come back, you see this low volume area right here. So my strategy is I will take it long, follow these participants. I'll take it long, and my target, since I'm only trading one contract, I have to get in and out in one trade, obviously. So my target was really supposed to be like 36 points, and that would have been around the like 30-25. So really, this trade was kind of less favorable for me to take, because my first target, if I traded 2 contracts, would have been the first target. I would have scaled out at 5,300. And then I would have held the rest as runners, but I wasn't able to do that because I was only trading one contract each, right? So you can see this Low volume area clearly forms. As soon as I see some signs of buying remaining, I take it long. I get a good entry at 78.50, and then my stop loss, I actually gave it 10 points on this trade, but I probably could have just put it honestly like at these 73s. So what happens is we come right back into that low volume area, and this has been the common theme for me as of the last like 4 or 5 sessions. Like I'll get a setup like this, I'll have my low volume area, I'll take it, price will trade out of the area of low volume quickly, and then it will return and then kind of hang out, and then this time you can see it left again. But I think it was either Wednesday and Thursday or Thursday and Friday where they were both the same exact thing. Like it was, I'm gonna make a whole folder dedicated to these setups that don't work out. And like, I know if you guys are not new here, you know the folder I'm talking about, but if you are new here, I have a folder of all the trade setups from March, and I'll update it with all of them in April as well, dedicated to the setups that I'm taking that have worked out. So I'm also going to dedicate a folder to the ones that did not work out and point out the red flags so you guys can look at that. So this trade will for sure be going in that folder whenever I get it made, but I didn't want to take the trade off because I just didn't feel comfortable with it being completely invalidated, since it's still trading above this where this offer filled at over here, I guess at the 73s area. So whatever, I leave it on. And like I said, my first target would have been 5,300 to scale out, and then my next target would have been the 53.25s. And 53.25 is really what I was targeting on these 2 contracts right here. But anyway, what happens is I move my stop loss to break even because we were at like almost 20 points in profit, or we were above 20 points in profit at one point. So there's no reason for this to come back to my entry if it's not going to work out, in my opinion. So one thing that I can point out to you guys right away is you can clearly see on the CVD, as soon as we come up to this 5,300 area, or approach this 5,300 area, you can see that selling volume is just starting to come in, right? That's definitely a red flag for my thesis, which was for the target 53.25 to hit. So this is a red flag unless price can remain relatively flatlined while this is happening. Clearly, price is not remaining flatlined whenever that volume comes in. Like we are immediately trading away from 5,300. I'm already stopped out of this position, but you can see 5,300 actually does end up trading. There was just no reason for me to hold on to that trade if it came back to my entry after being 20 points higher. I knew that if 5,300 didn't break and get traded above that, then this 53.25 target I had, was the chances of it not working out were very high. And I knew 5,300 was the key area that I was kind of gonna have to, my fate would have been determined, if you will, at that price. So yeah, that was these 2 trades for today. The first one was definitely a bad trade, I'll admit that 100%. Should have avoided this completely. This trade is something I would take every time. I could have probably invalidated it earlier, but the thing is, I'm not into taking trades off early yet. Like breaking even is the best I can do with this, because if it's 20 points in profit, there's no reason for me to go red on the trade, right? So I'm happy with that. But for the 2 entry challenge, I want to make sure that I'm not just grading myself based off of, I want to grade both entries if I have 2 entries individually, right? So this was my score for today. If you guys want this report card, I got it dropped in the Discord. All right, so once again, if you guys do want to watch my live sessions, just go to my channel and find my playlist for live sessions. You will not see, you're not going to see a live session section, or you're not going to see a live section, because I unlist them from my channel, but they are for everyone to see and they're fully public. So just go watch them right here if you want to go back and match my performance or whatever, or just see what the session did that day, whatever. If you guys like these videos and you appreciate the transparency, give me a like and subscribe to my channel. Once again, I'm going to put together a folder for you guys of all these setups that don't work out. I'm going to show you the real-time trades and all the screenshots with the red flags and everything, just like the other folder for the failed setups. And then if you want to connect with order flow traders, hit my Discord in the link below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.